So I got rage baited pretty badly by the new AI. By the way, the new AI today's news and the new AI trending. I got rage baited badly by what is the biggest and dumbest rage bait page in all of the WNBA. Like, I like a good rage bait. This is the one of the funniest rage baits I've seen. So basically, there is a page on Twitter, and they're not getting named. They're not getting named here. Everybody knows about that page. This page right here is just basically they were a page that was nobody talked about, but they just became a Caitlin Clark hate page, and they have about 50,000. They have about 50,000 followers, but like they actually do a good job of covering the league. But 50%, the only tweets that bang are the anti-Caitlin Clark ones. So, and then all the players are retweeting them. But this is one of the tweets. This is actually one of the tweets. This is one of my funniest things. This is one of my funniest tweets I have ever seen. Okay, so we are naming a best team of players who are 25 and under in the WNBA. Who is the best player in the WNBA 25 and under? Very obviously, it is Caitlin Clark on screen. Who is the second best player 25 and under? In my opinion, Aaliyah Boston. Who is the third best player 25 and under? In my opinion, Angel Reese. Who's the fourth best player? Paige Bueckers. But 2 through 4 are very interchangeable. I think it's Caitlin, Aaliyah, Angel, Paige. Most people would have Caitlin, Paige, and I was about to say, if you have Paige over Caitlin, if you want to make the argument that you think Paige is going to have a better career than Caitlin, okay, whatever. If you think Paige Bueckers is better than Caitlin Clark right now, you are a dumbass. Like, you don't understand anything about the sport of basketball. There is the only argument for Paige over Caitlin is if you have 3 All-Stars in your team and you want someone just to stand off the ball. But they're the top 4, and 5 is a close one. Like, Ryan Howard is there, is in that conversation. Leo Phoebish is in that conversation. Sonia Citron is in that conversation for 5. I would probably go Citron, but Kiki Iriafen's in that conversation as well. Like, really, Kiki's in that conversation. But it's very clear who the top 4 are, and then there's a lot of people in that debate for 5. And you might say, oh, these players are better than Angel Reese. Watch basketball. No, they're not. No, they're not. Like, Angel is one of, like, if at any stage the Sky are a competent team, she is going to be an all WNBA player. Like, she has an ability, like, when she wants to play defense, she is locked down. When she, like, the jump shot's not there, but I don't care the jump shot's not there. Her offense, she can be she can give you 15 and 15 and guard the other team's best player in her sleep. So, yeah, like, she's not Aaliyah good. She's not Caitlin Clark good, but pretty good. Really freaking good. But this page, obviously, if we were creating a starting 5 featuring only WNBA players who are 25 and under, it would look like this. Paige, Citron. First of all, Paige Bueckers does not play point guard. You've moved 2 players out of this page. Moved 2 players, and by the way, this tweet has like 3,000 likes. Like, obviously, this whole page is people rage baiting Caitlin Clark, but like, and this page keeps retweeting it. By the way, this page constantly retweets their own anti-Caitlin Clark tweets. Like, it's constantly retweeting anti-Caitlin Clark tweets. They became Ari McDonald fans despite Caitlin Clark, even though we all fucking loved Ari McDonald. Like, it was hilarious. But it is genuinely one of those things. And they tried to use their argument, and they were like, oh, you know, Paige is better because she doesn't have as many turnovers. Yeah, Veronica Burton's better than Paige Bueckers then. Like, if we're doing that, like, if we are actually doing that and saying that because Paige Bueckers is better because of assist to turnover ratio, even though Caitlin Clark scores more points on less shots, shoots better from 2, shoots better from 3, shoots better from the free throw line, has like nearly had 3 assists better per game as a rookie. Is they're both not very good on defense. With Paige is better than what Caitlin was a rookie. Caitlin today is a better defender than Paige. But neither of them are great on that end of the floor. Caitlin's a better rebounder. Caitlin is a much better shot blocker. Paige Bueckers is a better. She's got faster hands on the ball, and she's a better like pinch in, tip, steal defender. Caitlin Clark is better as like a free safety, just catching balls and coming in on a lot of weak side help. Caitlin Clark is a risk taker. Paige Bueckers is unbelievably passive. And I would rather a player be a complete risk taker than be too passive. There's a happy medium in between, but I would rather have one than the other. But there's no argument right now. But if you want to use the turnover argument, Veronica Burton is in this instead of Paige Bueckers. Like, it's as simple as that. There's no, if you want to, like, people are like, oh, Paige is more efficient. And it's like, well, Paige shoots worse from 2, worse from 3, and worse in the free throw line. Why? Because she doesn't turn the ball over as much. Yeah, she also doesn't assist the ball as much. And also, like, Caitlin Clark turns the ball over. It's what's going to happen with her play style. That's kind of going to happen. It's like, if you look, any player in the history of basketball who's looked to make things happen, men's or women's, turns the ball over a lot. But, yeah, Veronica Burton should be there for that argument. But it is funny that people get rage baited by this. And, like, people actually believe this. And the funny thing is, like, I was looking at quote tweets. People literally said, the one thing you got wrong is that Aaliyah Boston's worse than Dominique Malonga. And I'm like, man, Aaliyah Boston just outplayed Angel Wilson in the playoff series. Like, Dom Malonga, by the way, Dom Malonga cooked down the stretch. Like, she absolutely cooked down the stretch. And I think Dom Malonga was, like, legitimately exceptional for a 19-year-old. But, like, she wasn't better over the course of the series in Asia. She was better at the end of game 2, and she did a great job at the end of game 3. But, like, she wasn't better over the course of a series in Asia Wilson, which Aaliyah was. Aaliyah absolutely was better over the course of that series than Asia. And there's a reason why Asia's taking shots at Aaliyah Boston after the game. The reason why Asia's taking shots at Aaliyah Boston is they had a battle. They had an absolute battle. Like, it was Aaliyah, obviously, talking. She didn't mention the special whistle. Asia just used that as her own. She used that as her own thing. And realistically, she like, her trying to use that for her own motivation, she went at Aaliyah. But, like, Aaliyah gave it back to her. Aaliyah was as good as her. But that's when you know it becomes anti-Caitlin and it becomes anti-Fever, where it's like, you can't even be objective enough to know that they are. I genuinely think, if you ask Sonia Citron, is she better than Caitlin Clark? She might answer no. If you ask Ryan Howard if she's better than Caitlin Clark, I'm confident Ryan Howard would say yes. I think if you ask Ryan Howard who the best player in the WNBA is, she'll say Ryan Howard. But, like, I genuinely think there is 2 players that even believe they're better themselves than Caitlin Clark, and it's Angel Reese and Ryan Howard. I don't think she believes she's better than Caitlin Clark. We've heard from answers. I don't think Paige Bueckers believes. I genuinely don't think Paige Bueckers realizes she's Paige Bueckers. Like, I actually don't think Paige Bueckers believes she's better than Caitlin Clark. I think Paige Bueckers, like, that's the only way I can say it. It's like, I actually don't think Paige Bueckers realizes quite a lot of the time that she's Paige Bueckers. Like, that's always just one of those things where I'm like, I just don't know how I feel about Paige. Just, she has all the ability in the world, but just, like, it'll click someday with Paige. And my opinion on Paige will change. But until it clicks, it won't. It's kind of as simple as that. Like, until things click with Paige Bueckers, you probably won't see me unbelievably hyping her up. But yeah, look, I think all around this is it is just an interesting thing to see what's going on with these kind of rage bait things. And for me anyway, I'm like, I nearly got rage baited by a thing, and it was like, the AI Twitter thing said, like, today's news, and it was like, it literally, I think it said the word credible in it. It was like, credible WNBA news outlet states Caitlin Clark is not one of the top 5 players under 25. And I'm like, these are one of those things where you just know it's in bad faith. Like, it's not even an opinion. Like, this isn't even an opinion. This is like saying Nikola Jokic is not a top 5 player in the world. Or Luka Doncic sucks at basketball. Like, these are not, that's just hate. There is opinions. If you wanted to make the argument, like, I don't agree with your opinion. I think it's a dumb argument to be made right now. I don't think there's any actual argument you can make that Paige Bueckers is the best player under 25, but Caitlin Clark's too. I don't agree. I think it's a dumb argument, but it's an opinion. We're all entitled to opinions, even if there's no argument to back them up. Or even if there's no real argument to back them up, we're all entitled to opinions. But to basically say, she's not one of the top 5. But it's like, oh no, she doesn't play. Like, where it's her and Paige for that point guard position. 1, Citron doesn't play the 2. Paige doesn't play the 1. So you've put 2 people out of position just so that you can kick Caitlin Clark out of the list. And if you want to make a position list, there is no argument ever that Sonia Citron is in the top 5 players. Unless you want to kick out Ryan Howard. If you believe Sonia Citron's a shooting guard, there's no argument for her to be there. If you want to kick out Ryan Howard, sure. Sure. That's all I'll say is sure. But yeah, I'm not a I just don't know. I just don't know how people are continued to be rage baited. But like, it's derangement. Like, it's derangement. That's the only word I can use to describe it. Like, it's derangement. The anti-Caitlin Clark stuff, it's been 2 years. And the amount of people that are like, oh, but like, you can't discount Caitlin Clark's season. It's like, well, yeah, she played on one leg. And people are like, oh, but like, that's still happened. I'm like, I agree. If Caitlin Clark comes in not healthy in year 3, yes, you can make the injury argument. But the reality of the situation is Caitlin Clark was still one of the best guards in the league when she played. We saw her second last game before injury when she absolutely outplayed Paige Bueckers, and until the final day of the season, she had won more games than Paige. Yeah, that's one of those things. But yeah, either way, you know what? I'm going to discuss this topic because, it's the off season, so bullshit rage baiting is going to be a thing, and I still just find it mad. I just find it mad. Like, you can agree, you can disagree with what I'm saying, but I just felt like I wanted to talk about the topic. And that's one of those things when it comes to this off season, is a lot of people are saying, being like, oh, why are you making a video on this? Why are you talking about this? Yada, yada, yada. But like, for me anyway, this YouTube channel always started as me talking about what I want to talk about in basketball. And a lot of the topics that I talk about on basketball are stuff that I see the prevailing public opinion. This isn't a channel where I get to talk about what I want to talk about. This isn't really that much of a breakdown. Like, if people want to see me break, like if somebody wants to freaking pay me a bunch of money to break down and analyze games, I'll do that. But until then, I'm just going to go and keep doing what I'm doing, talk about different topics and talk about some bullshit. But anyway, I'll see you guys.